It's Colette from the Sacred Rose Temple. I want you to think about the word magic and what magic actually means. Well, magic is an extraordinary power or influence, seemingly from a supernatural source. And it's a word and something that has been repressed, forgotten, maybe even ridiculed in our current way of living, and there's much reason for that. In times gone by, magic was outlawed and banned because it was being misused. Like everything in this society can be used for good or bad. But society banned the use of magic because the magic was God given to people. Magic is a force that I believe comes from our God given connection. And so, over the years of the tyrannical use of magic and the outlawing of magic from the kings and the queens, of course, the powers that be, that would want to take from the society any powers of magic because that would deem them less magic, that over time magic has been forgotten. In my Druid studies, I'm remembering that my own people, my own Celtic people, use magic in many different forms. Magic to them wasn't something that was taboo or ridiculed or, something really far out there. But magic was fundamental to their everyday living. Magic was when they asked the trees what medicine they held. Magic was how they communicated with the flowers and the plants, asking them what tonics they could be used for. Magic happened when they spoke to the stone people and were given memories of the past. Magic was used to create special spells in cauldrons that created well-being for their community. The realms and the other worlds is common to most indigenous and ancestral ancient pasts. Magic was what was used to converse with the other side, the unseen. And all of these were converted into stories, into myths of fairies and unicorns and magical beings. And as I've grown to understand psychology more in the works of Carl Jung, and knowing that imagination is the borderline hairline that transcends into our psychic seeing, and as a child who could see psychically, I understand now the process that was happening in my mind. The hours spent in a different reality, imagining that my life was different, that I did play with the unicorns and dance with the fairies at the bottom of the garden, and the angels were all around me. I began to see them. I spent hours endlessly cutting out images of angels, sticking them to books, scrapbooks, cupboards, anything I could find, to bring them to the seeing eyes of those that couldn't see. It was hard for me to rationalize in my own mind why I saw what others couldn't see, but now I understand psychologically how the imagination realm crosses over into the psychic, and I understand that the magic lies there. So magic has been around since the beginning of time, and magic will be around till the end of time. It just depends on how you view it. It depends on whether you believe it, and it depends on whether you actually do any practice to allow your magic to come through. There are some people that I feel who are magic. I know magic lies within everyone, but there are people who use magic, who have used magic for the wrong reasons to gain matter, control, power, love. And knowing that any misuse of magic comes back on somebody times 10 has always allowed me to refrain from wanting to use it to get my own means, to ask for things or take something that wasn't in the divine order for me. Now, I trust the divine order and I trust God and God's want for me. I know I have my own divine will. And so messing in the realm of magic in a dark and negative way only comes back to haunt us. So how do we work with magic in a good way? Magic in a good way is used to help people, support people. It's used to heal communities. It's used to bring people together. Magic is used for information, for gathering information from the other side, from the realms, from God. It's being a conduit that allows for the change we need in humanity. And so that means that we are aware of what is going on in our own collective. We are aware of the shadows around us and within us. And it adds as an extra caution when we use magic that the darkness is always around us as much as the light, and to be crystal clear and clean with our use of magic. But that brings me to the point of speaking on what is your magic? The use of magic is vast. The ability to use magic is more than we could comprehend. And each and every single one of us has our own very distinct magic imprint. What is it that you're good at? What is it that you get great joy from? And what is it that may have caused you problems in the past? And in answering those questions, I realised the weavings of my magic and the magic that wanted to come through me in a very pure and clean way. And I worked to send myself into the initiations of cleansing and purifying myself through shadow work, through energy work, through deep body work, somatic work, therapy, in order to be a clearer channel as possible for magic to come into this realm to support others. And one of my daily, weekly, monthly chores is to spend time with the magic. I go to my sacred grove, I come into a druid practice, I sing the Awen, and I communicate with the other realms, as I did as a child, only as an adult, knowing that this magic is real and that no matter what anybody tells me, whatever human tells me that doesn't exist, is only a human that hasn't discovered their own magic. So I leave this potent question with you, and one I ask in many of my sessions with people. What is your magic?